Yes. Chalo. Good evening, all of you. Let us continue the chapter that is alternating current. ठीक है. तो alternating current chapter के अंदर हमने last time application of AC to a combination of inductance, resistance and capacitance ये देखा था. Yes, you have already seen that whenever the alternating current means alternating source जो है, तो वो जब रेजिस्टेंस के अक्रॉस इंडिविजुअली जब पुट किया जाता है तो क्या होता है वो हमने ऑलरेडी देखा. करेक्ट है. और यही हमने देखा कि whenever this resistance is connected across a AC source, what happens is the current and potential difference or the current and EMF remains in the same phase. E naught and I naught can be drawn to be like the vectors which are going to be in the same direction. That means even if they are rotating vectors, but still they will be in same phase. That means they will be in the same direction, and that is the speciality of this resistive circuit. Here we can see. And if we talk about the expressions, then E can be written to be equal to E naught sine omega t, and I can be written to be simply equal to I naught sine omega t, which means that there is sine in both of these equations, which shows that the EMF and current have a zero phase difference. There is no phase difference between current and EMF here in this case. Correct? And here in this case, the resistance will actually be defined as the ratio of E naught to I naught, or in short, actually it is defined as ERMS to IRMS. But this ERMS upon IRMS happens to be same as E naught upon I naught, no doubt. And this happens in case of the resistance, pure resistance. If it is connected across a AC source, then it can oppose the AC current, and that opposition is same as the normal resistance, no doubt. But in case of the inductance, if you see carefully, suppose this is the AC source and it is connected to an inductor. Inductor means a coil, suppose. So in that case, we have already seen that there is a phase difference between the current and EMF. Correct? We already proved that if we take the current I to be as I naught sine omega t, then EMF happens to be pi by 2 radian leading to that. Leading. That means E naught becomes E becomes equal to E naught sine ओमेगा टी प्लस पाई बाय टू. ओके. और ये एक सिस्टम ऐसा हो सकता है, या तो फिर दूसरा क्या हो सकता है कि इफ वी टेक दिस ई टू बी सिंपली इक्वल टू ई नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी इटसेल्फ. ई को ही हमने अगर ई नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी ले लिया तो करंट हैपेंस टू बी लैगिंग बिहाइंड by the phase angle of same, that is pi by 2 radian here. So we can get the current expression as I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2, which shows that in both of these situations we can just clearly see that EMF leads by a phase angle of pi by 2 radian than the current. And here also we can just see the same thing, that is EMF leads current by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian, or we can say current actually lags behind by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian, because its phase angle is going to be pi by 2 less than the current phase angle of EMF here. And because of this reason, we can just show the current and EMF by a vector, by the vector which are inclined at an angle of 90 degree with each other. So if we consider this system, then we can just show the current to be along the horizontal direction, E naught, and EMF will be pi by 2 radian anti-clockwise like this. Sorry, this is I naught. Okay, ये I naught हम शो करेंगे यहाँ पे, और ये जो है ये E naught बनेगा, no doubt. Correct है. And if we consider this situation here, then we can just show the EMF to be along x-axis. This is EMF, and current will be shown to be downwards, making an angle of pi by 2 radian, but in the clockwise direction here in this way. So both of these diagrams represent the same thing, no doubt. And at the same time, we can also have that the ratio of these two, E naught to I naught, in this case here happens to be simply E naught upon I naught happens to be omega L, which is actually called as XL, where XL stands for inductive reactance, which gives us an idea about the opposition granted by this current, by this इंडक्टर टू द फ्लो ऑफ करंट थ्रू इट. ओके, तो ये इंडक्टर इस करंट को कितना अपोज करता है ये हमको इससे पता चलता है. करेक्ट है. और तीसरा, जब हम कैपेसिटर की बात कर रहे हैं तो कैपेसिटर के अक्रॉस जब एसी सोर्स अप्लाई किया जाता है तो उस केस में सेम सेट ऑफ equations we can form here. The first set of equation can be like current I can be given to be I naught sin omega t, but the EMF will be obtained to be E naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. See the difference. What is the difference between this set and this set? Here we can just clearly say that in this case here current lags and EMF leads, but here in this case EMF lags whereas current leads. And even we can just say this second set of equations in the same way here, which can be considered to be alternative to this here. इसको alternatively E naught को मतलब EMF को अगर हम रेफरेंस में ले लेते हैं तो E equal to E naught sin omega t can be written here, and current I can be obtained to be simply I naught sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Correct है. This set of equations can also be constructed for this capacitor here. तो कैपेसिटर के सिस्टम के अंदर होता क्या है, एक ही बात हमको याद रखनी है कि ये करंट विल बी लीडर एंड ईएमएफ विल बी लैगर. करंट विल लीड द ईएमएफ बाय द फेज एंगल ऑफ पाई बाय 2 रेडियन एंड ईएमएफ विल लैग द करंट बाय द फेज एंगल ऑफ पाई बाय 2 रेडियन. तो यहाँ पे ईएमएफ के अंदर जो फेज एंगल है वो करंट के फेज एंगल से पाई बाय 2 रेडियन से कम रहने वाला है, और करंट का जो फेज एंगल है वो जो भी ईएमएफ का एंगल होगा तो उसका उससे पाई बाय 2 रेडियन से ज्यादा ही रहने वाला है. ये हमको अच्छी तरह से याद रखना है. एंड द ऑपोजिशन ऑफर्ड बाय दिस कैपेसिटर इज डिनोटेड बाय XC, which is called as the capacitive reactance, and it is actually going to be the ratio of this E naught to I naught in this case, which actually happens to be 1 upon omega c, and that is denoted by XC. Remember, which is called as the capacitive reactance. And this capacitive reactance, okay, and if we just draw the phasor diagram here in this case, तो यहाँ पे देखो current I is equal to I naught sin omega t can be drawn like this along this x-axis, no doubt, but the EMF will be drawn like a vector of a magnitude E naught, which is inclined at an angle minus pi by 2 to this current. That means it will be like in the negative y-axis. Correct है. See the difference. Okay, यहाँ पे I naught और ये E naught है, क्योंकि हमको यहाँ पे इस तरफ जाने के लिए क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में टर्न करना पड़ रहा है 90 डिग्री से, और ये सिस्टम जो है वो भी हम शो कर सकते हैं. EMF कैन बी शोन टू बी along the x-axis, no doubt, and current here in this case can be shown to be upwards or in the positive direction of y-axis and making an angle of 90 degree with this EMF in this case, and that is magnitude I naught. And the ratio of this E naught to I naught here in this case happens to be 1 upon omega c, and it is called as XC, which is nothing but the capacitive reactance. Okay, तो देखो see the difference. E naught upon I naught तो इधर भी है, R उसको बोल सकते हैं. E naught upon I naught इधर भी है लेकिन उसको XL बोलते हैं, और यहाँ पे E naught upon I naught इधर भी मिल रहा है बट उसको XC कहा जाता है. And obviously whatever is the ratio of E naught to I naught is also going to be the ratio of ERMS to IRMS, no doubt. Even here also we can just say that it will be ERMS upon IRMS. बिल्कुल ठीक है. तो ये सब चीजें जो है वो हमने ऑलरेडी कल के लेक्चर में की थी, राइट? नहीं कल के नहीं, कल के पहले मतलब परसों के लेक्चर में एक्चुअली किया था. बट जस्ट स्टिल टेक जस्ट दिस डाउन. इसका स्क्रीनशॉट चाहिए तो लेके लो फटाफट, क्योंकि दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रिमेंबर. एक ही विजन में तुमको सारे जो तीनों चीजें जो है वो यहाँ पे मिलने वाली है. बट जस्ट क्लियर दैट दिस इज द बाउंड्री, तो मिक्सअप कर देंगे इधर सबको. ठीक है. सो दैट इज फॉर रेजिस्टेंस, दिस इज फॉर इंडक्टेंस एंड दिस इज फॉर कैपेसिटेंस. ओके, तो तीनों का जो प्रॉपर्टी है तो वो हम देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि अगर हम कंपेयर करेंगे तीनों के बारे में तो रेजिस्टेंस ट्राइज टू कीप द करंट in the same phase as that of the EMF. Okay, inductor tries to keep current lag behind the EMF by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian, or EMF inductor actually tries to keep the EMF lead by pi by 2 radian than the current. And what does capacitor do? Capacitor tries to to maintain the current lead pi by 2 radian than the EMF, or it tries to make the EMF lag behind the current by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian. In the same way here, तो वही बात हम यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं. And opposition of the inductor is expressed as omega into L, whereas opposition of this capacitor is expressed as 1 upon omega C, and the opposition of resistance is denoted by R only. वो तो हमको पता है ऑलरेडी. रेजिस्टेंस का सबसे सिंपल है, बट इंडक्टर और कैपेसिटर ये दोनों एक दूसरे के ऑपोजिट नेचर के हैं. ये हमको अच्छी तरह समझना है. ऑपोजिट इन द सेंस यहाँ पे करंट लीड लैग करने की ट्राई की जाती है, जबकि यहाँ पे करंट लीड करने के लिए ट्राई किया जाता है. तो और यहाँ पे जो है ईएमएफ यहाँ पे लीड करने के लिए ट्राई किया जाता है, जबकि इसमें ईएमएफ लैग करने के लिए ट्राई किया जाता है. बट अभी चलो ये इंडिविजुअल उनका जो नेचर है वो हम इस तरह से देख सकते हैं, नो डाउट. लेकिन कल हमने कुछ फॉर्मूले भी डिराइव किए थे जिनके अंदर हमने ये देखा कि जब रेजिस्टेंस और इंडक्टेंस कंबाइन किया जाता है तो क्या होता है, या रेजिस्टेंस और कैपेसिटेंस को कंबाइन करके उनको सीरीज में लगाया जाता है एसी सोर्स के अक्रॉस, तब उनका अपोजिशन कितना बनता है, वो सब हमने कल डिराइव किया था. So let us do it once again for the two circuits. First of all, when this AC source is connected across the resistor as well as inductor connected in series. Okay, अभी हम ये फिर से करने वाले हैं, लेकिन एक अलग मेथड से, जो कि हमको आगे चल के LCR सर्किट का एनालिसिस करने के लिए मदद करेगी. दूसरी तरफ the same AC source is going to be connected in the series combination of a resistance and a capacitance in this way here. Okay, तो जब resistance और inductance के series combination को हम ये AC source apply करते हैं, तो we can just say that the current I will actually be given by I naught sin omega t, no doubt. So this is the current taken as a reference here, correct है. बट हियर वी कैन सी जस्ट सी दैट रेजिस्टेंस क्या करता है, रेजिस्टेंस के अंदर का जो ईएमएफ है वो हमेशा इस करंट के सेम फेज में रहने के लिए ट्राई करता है, जबकि इंडक्टेंस के अंदर का जो ईएमएफ है वो हमेशा इस करंट को लीड करने के लिए ट्राई करता है. तो इसलिए अगर हम एक डायग्राम बनाते हैं जिसमें ये करंट हम ड्रा करेंगे along the horizontal, that is along the x axis, no doubt this is the diagram of current. Okay, but where will be the EMF across resistance will lie in the diagram? Along the same, that is x axis here. तो ये हो गया हमारा x axis के along, that is the EMF across the resistor. We can call it as ER, correct है. But at the same time, what does this EL will do? EL जो है, that is maximum value of EMF across this inductor will try to lead the current, correct है. Because inductor का property अभी भी मैंने बताया कि it tries to make the current lag behind the EMF, and EMF को वो lead करने के लिए ट्राई करता है. तो इन इंडक्टर्स के अंदर जो EMF आएगा EL we can say, and ER is going to be the EMF across the resistor. तो EL जो है उस it can be written as a vector. It can be drawn as a vector which is going to be along positive direction of y-axis like this here. Okay, तो ये हमारा EL रहने वाला है, EL. समझा ठीक से. एंड नाउ इन ऑर्डर टू कैलकुलेट द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ दीज टू वेक्टर्स ER एंड EL, इन दोनों का जो रिजल्टेंट है वो रिजल्टेंट एक्चुअली इन दोनों का अप्लाइड EMF रहने वाला है, जिसको हम E बोल सकते हैं. So that applied EMF E can actually be drawn by using the parallelogram law. तो ये पैराग्राम अगर हम यूज करेंगे तो ये पैराग्राम यूज करके उसका जो डायगोनल है, तो वो डायगोनल मतलब यहाँ पे E रहने वाला है, और उसका जो एंगल बना हुआ है इस ER के साथ, तो उसको हम बोल देंगे फाई. दैट फाई विल एक्चुअली बी द एंगल, फेज एंगल और फेज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द नेट EMF एंड करंट हियर, रिमेंबर. एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन जस्ट से, और वी कैन कॉल इट एज E naught also, E naught. where E naught is going to be the net EMF across the uh, applied source. ठीक है ना, तो सोर्स का जो EMF है वो इस ER और EL का रिजल्टेंट के बराबर रहने वाला है, तो डायगोनल के बराबर रहने वाला है। तो अगर इन तीनों के बीच में अगर हमने पाइथागोरस थ्योरम अगर यूज किया, या रिजल्टेंट का जो फॉर्मूला होता है वेक्टर्स का वो अगर यूज किया, तो हमको क्या मिलेगा, देखो E नॉट स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू बेस का स्क्वायर मतलब ER का स्क्वायर प्लस ये जो वर्टिकल साइड है हाइट जो उसको हम बोल सकते हैं, तो वो EL है उसका भी स्क्वायर, ये मिल जाएगा राइट। और इसको अगर हम रूट निकालेंगे तो हमको मिलेगा, देखो E नॉट, ये तो ठीक है। अभी देखो ठीक से यहाँ पे कि ER जो है, ER कितना रहने वाला है, ER is going to be the maximum value of EMF across the resistance, and maximum value of current here is I naught. Or already we have seen that the resistance have a property that E naught upon I naught is going to be equal to R. So we can just say that is ER upon I naught will actually be equal to R, which gives ER is equal to I naught into R. Correct है, ये हमको मिल गया। We can just consider this as a Ohm's law. EMF, maximum EMF is equal to maximum current into resistance. Okay. And what about EL here? EL के बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं और बोल सकते हैं कि in case of the inductor, the value of E naught upon I naught remains to be omega L, which is denoted by XL. Correct है? So here we can just say EL upon I naught will remain to be XL, and hence we can just say that EL is going to be I naught into XL. Correct है? And now if we just put these values ER and EL here in this equation, then we can just be able to get that E naught square going to be equal to, तो यहाँ पे ER के बदले क्या आने वाला है, I naught R, और उसका स्क्वायर आने वाला है। ओके, प्लस हियर EL को हम रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं आराम से, that is I naught into XL और उसका भी स्क्वायर। Okay, now if we just solve this further, then we can get this E naught square going to be equal to I naught square into R square, plus here it is going to be I naught square into XL square. Correct है? So that we can just take I naught square common from this bracket and get this as, so E naught square will actually be equal to I naught square, which is taken common, and we will be left with R square plus XL square here inside the bracket. Correct है? And then we can just be able to get this I naught square in the denominator here, so as to get this as E naught square upon I naught square going to be equal to R square plus XL square. And then we can just be able to get this E naught upon I naught here by taking the square root on both sides. अगर हमने यहाँ पे दोनों तरफ स्क्वायर रूट ले लिया तो हमको क्या मिलेगा, देखो ठीक से, तो we can just get this as E naught upon I naught, which is going to be equal to root of R square plus XL square, so that this E naught upon I naught is actually called as the Z. Z means it is denoted, it is called as impedance of this circuit, which represents the overall opposition offered by this combination of inductance and resistance to the flow of AC current. Okay, तो इस AC करंट के लिए जो कंबाइंड ऑपोजिशन होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं impedance, और उसको Z से हमेशा डिनोट किया जाता है। तो this ratio E naught upon I naught in this case is going to be Z, which is equal to root of R square plus XL square. And from this formula only we can just draw another diagram here, which is called as a impedance triangle. Remember, impedance triangle. Here the same triangle can be drawn here. R can be drawn to be along x-axis, resistance can be drawn here along the x-axis, the inductance, capacity, inductive reactance can be drawn to be along this y-axis, that is denoted by XL here, and the resultant of these two formed along the diagonal. तो ये diagonal अगर ड्रॉ करेंगे तो ये diagonal के along जो हमको मिलेगा resultant इनका, तो वो रहेगा यहाँ पे Z, and this will make the same angle, that is phi, with this resistance R here. And from this triangle only we can just find out the value of Z in terms of R and XL, and also we can find out the phi, that is phase difference between this current and EMF. So this tan phi can actually be obtained to be simply equal to opposite side, that is XL upon R, that is resistance. From this we can just find out cos phi and sin phi also, no doubt, but just not needed, we can just find it out. So ये triangle अगर याद रखेंगे तो सब details तुमको यहाँ से मिल जाएंगे. And once we get this phi and E naught, we can just put the final value of E here. That means the instantaneous value of EMF here, E, is going to be actually E naught sin omega t plus phi. See, remember here. So this is actually going to be the final expression for the EMF, instantaneous EMF in this circuit. Okay, क्योंकि हमने E naught निकाला और E naught is going to be a vector which is making an angle of phi with this I naught here. So E naught और I naught के बीच में फेज डिफरेंस कितना है? phi. उसमें भी लीडर कौन है? EMF है, और लैगर कौन है? करंट है. तो करंट के एंगल से EMF का जो फेज एंगल है वो phi से ज्यादा होना चाहिए जरूर. इसलिए हमने यहाँ पे इस एक्सप्रेशन के अंदर जो instantaneous value of EMF will be equal to the magnitude of this vector, that is E naught, multiplied by sine of angle which is greater than this omega t by phi. That's it. So this is the analysis of this RL circuit in the different method, by different method. We have done this same derivation by a different method yesterday. कल के लेक्चर में हमने ये पूरा जो एनालिसिस है वो थोड़ा अलग मेथड से किया था, but actually that is the actual method, that is this has to be done along with that. तो मतलब ये जिस मेथड से एक्चुअली किया जाना चाहिए वो वाला मेथड है कल जो हमने किया था. लेकिन अभी आज के लेक्चर में ये जो हम कर रहे हैं वो उसका समराइज्ड फॉर्म है, क्योंकि वो मेथड थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट था. उसके अंदर बहुत सारा लेंथी प्रोसेस हमने यहाँ पे देखा. ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक फंक्शंस के साथ बहुत डिटेल में हमको डील करना पड़ रहा था उसके अंदर. लेकिन यहाँ पे हम बहुत सिंपल तरीके से, या एक वेक्टर्स के जो प्रॉपर्टीज है तो उनको यूज करके एकदम सिंपल वे से ये पूरा एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं. और यही हमको समझना है, ये एनालिसिस कैसे करना है. ठीक है ना. सो जैसे हमने यहाँ पे RL सर्किट के बारे में एनालिसिस किया, सेम वैसे ही हमको अभी RC सर्किट के लिए भी करना है. ठीक है. सो लेट अस कंसीडर दिस RC सर्किट हियर. So let us consider the current to be common, or because both of these connected are in series, and since they are connected in series, we can just say that yes. Okay, so since both of these are connected in series, so in this case the current will be taken as reference. Remember, whenever the instruments are connected in series, current has to be taken as a reference. But if the suppose instruments are connected in parallel, then we'll have to take the EMF for reference. तो यहाँ पे current को हम reference में ले लेंगे. Current can be written as I is equal to I naught sin omega t in this way here, as in the same way as we have taken it here in this case. Now here the current can be drawn by a vector which is directed along this x-axis, positive direction of x-axis, no doubt. But at the same time, if we just try to draw this ER, that is the EMF across the resistance, and EC as well, which is the EMF across capacitance, then we have to keep in mind that the EMF across resistance always tries to be in the same phase as that of the current, but the EMF across capacitance actually tries to lag the current. Okay, तो यहाँ पे capacitance क्या करेगा, उसके अंदर आने वाले EMF को वो current से lag करने के लिए try करेगा, and hence as a result the EMF across capacitor will be shown by a vector whose magnitude is EC, which is the maximum value of that EMF, and that will be inclined at current at a pi by 2 radian angle or 90-degree angle with this current here. And now we will have to draw the resultant of these two vectors ER and EC, which can be done by parallelogram law. तो अगर हम एक पैराग्राम ड्रॉ करेंगे, पैराग्राम क्या, वो तो रेक्टेंगल ही बन जाएगा, no doubt. And if we just draw the diagonal of that paragram here in this way, then that diagonal actually represents the maximum value of EMF of the source. Okay, तो ये जो E naught है वो एक्चुअली सोर्स का EMF बनने वाला है, सोर्स का EMF का मैक्सिमम वैल्यू बनने वाला है, और वो इस ER के साथ जो एंगल करता है तो वो एक्चुअली नेगेटिव रहेगा. We can call it as phi, which is going to be actually the phase difference between EMF and current here in this case. And now if we just try to find out this E naught in terms of EC and ER, then again we can just use the same, that is Pythagoras theorem here in this case also. So E naught square becomes actually equal to ER square plus EC square, so that ER can be written to be equal to I naught into R, correct hai? As we have just taken it here. And at the same time, EC can actually be written to be equal to I naught into XC, according to the Ohm's law, simply. So this is just like Ohm's law. And if we just put these values of ER and EC here in this equation, then we can just be able to get that E naught square, which is equal to, इस ER के बदले क्या आने वाला है, I naught into R और उसका स्क्वायर, प्लस EC के बदले आने वाला है I naught into XC, उसका भी स्क्वायर, no doubt. And then we'll be just able to solve this further, so that we can get this E naught square is equal to I naught square into R square, plus here it will be I naught square into XC square, so that E naught can be written to be equal to I naught square can be taken common, and R square plus XC square will be left inside the bracket, and E naught square upon I naught square will be written to be simply equal to R square plus XC square, and finally E naught upon I naught can also be written to be simply equal to root of this, that is R square plus XC square. And finally the ratio of this E naught to I naught in the whole circuit, overall circuit, will be actually called as the impedance once again, that is denoted by Z, and this Z this time finds out to be equal to root of R square plus XC square. And here this is the value of impedance in case of this RC circuit, remember. And at the same time, the phi phase difference between these two, that is current and EMF, final value of EMF and final value of current, can also be obtained to be simply using this tan phi. ओके तो tan phi हम दो तरह से निकाल सकते हैं. एक तो जैसे यहाँ पे हम ये tan का वैल्यू ऑपोजिट अपॉन एडजेसेंट करके भी निकाल सकते हैं आराम से. ऑपोजिट कौन है, EC है, so this is EC अपॉन एडजेसेंट कौन है, ये ER है, तो EC अपॉन ER ये करके भी हम tan phi निकाल सकते हैं. बट इफ यू जस्ट ड्रॉ द इंपीडेंस ट्रायंगल हियर इन दिस केस, इंपीडेंस ट्रायंगल कैसे ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, using the fact that Z square is actually going to be R square plus XC square. So we can just draw this R here. R is represented by the vector which is drawn along the x-axis, and XC is going to be represented by a vector which is drawn along this negative direction of y-axis, and resultant of these two vectors by the parallelogram law will be along the diagonal of this parallelogram like this, and this resultant will actually be the Z value, and this Z will actually make an angle phi with this R here. And again according to this triangle, इस triangle के अंदर अगर हम दिखाएंगे तो tan phi क्या मिलेगा हमको, तो tan phi can be found out to be simply equal to opposite side which is same as XC here, so this is XC upon the adjacent one which is going to be R here, so that we can just get the value of tan phi from this equation. And once we get this tan phi or phi from this equation, we can just construct the instantaneous value of EMF here in this case. So instantaneous EMF क्या होगा, E that is equal to E naught, this E naught which is the maximum value of EMF across the whole circuit into sine of what is here. अब यहाँ पे देखो EMF lags behind the current by the phase angle of phi, करेक्ट है, phi इतने एंगल से EMF लैग कर रहा है करंट को, तो इसलिए EMF का जो एंगल है करंट के एंगल से phi इतने अमाउंट से कम रहेगा, कम डिक्रीज होगा, तो इसलिए यहाँ पे माइनस साइन यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. तो इसलिए हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे कि E इज इक्वल टू E नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी माइनस phi kept as it is here, and this is actually the full and final expression for the EMF, instantaneous value of EMF across this whole circuit, okay, that is RC circuit in this case, remember. And the impedance of this circuit can also be proved to be simply equal to root of R square plus XC square in this case, okay. ठीक है, देखो यहाँ पे LCR circuit in which the inductance here, then the capacitance C and resistance, all these three are just connected in series with each other, and their combination is connected across a AC source like this, okay. The diagram itself shows everything, ठीक है ना. It tells us simply that here the inductance L capacitance C and resistance R is going to be connected in series with each other, and their combination is connected to the AC source. You can see it here. And now in this case, once again, we have to take the current as a reference. So we have to take the current I to be flowing through all these components, which is going to be same because they are in series combination. So current will be actually I naught sine omega t, and this current can actually be represented in the diagram by a vector whose magnitude is I naught and which is lying along this positive direction of x-axis, and this is our reference point. With reference to this current, we are going to draw the vectors which represents the EMF across inductance, EMF across this capacitance, and EMF across this resistance. ठीक है ना? So all of them will be inclined to this current vector by suitable angles. Now let us consider what happens about this ER, EC and EL. If this ER, EC and EL are considered to be the maximum values or peak values of EMFs across resistance, capacitance and inductance, then we can just be able to say that the EMF across resistance as usual will try to be in the same phase as that of the current. So we can just draw the EMF across resistance to be a vector which is along this x-axis only, that is in the same direction as that of the current, no doubt. Now if we just talk about this EL, that is the EMF across the inductor. अब इंडक्टर का प्रॉपर्टी जो हमने बताया था कि इंडक्टर ऑलवेज ट्राइज टू कीप EMF lead the current by phase angle of pi by 2 radian, and that's why we should represent this EL by a vector which is along this positive direction of y axis here. समझा ठीक से? Why we have drawn it like this? Because the EMF across inductor always leads the current. Okay, so this is the EL we can see. Okay, तो ये एक वेक्टर तो हमको मिल गया, no doubt. Now if we just talk about this EC here, then EC will be drawn again by a vector, but this time it will lag behind the current by pi by 2 radian. So EC should be drawn by a vector or represented by a vector which is going to be inclined with current at pi by 2 radian angle, that is 90-degree angle, but it should be in the downward direction because it is going to be lagging the current. EMF across capacitance always lags the current, whereas EMF across inductor always leads the current. That's why EMF across inductor is shown by a vector upwards, whereas the EMF across capacitor will be shown by a vector downwards. So this is a vector which is representing the EC, that is EMF across capacitor here. Okay, and now we have to find out the resultant of all these three, ER, EL and EC, no doubt. Now just first of all we'll just try to find out the resultant of EL and EC first. It is very simple to find out. Why? Because EL is a vector which is drawn upwards and EC is going to be a vector which is drawn downwards, and we already know that whenever the two vectors are drawn like this, one is upwards and one is downwards, then if they have equal magnitudes then they just cancel each other. But if they have unequal magnitudes, एक बड़ा है और एक छोटा है, तो जो बड़ा होता है उसके मैग्नीट्यूड में से छोटे का मैग्नीट्यूड माइनस होके जो बचता है उस मैग्नीट्यूड का एक छोटा वेक्टर बड़े वाले डायरेक्शन में हमको मिल जाता है. That means the resultant of these two vectors is actually going to be a new vector which is of magnitude EL minus EC and which is in the direction of EL, which is supposed to be greater, need not to be always. अभी इसमें हमने by default ये assume किया है कि EL is going to be greater than EC, but again remember that this need not to be the case always. हमेशा ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि EL ही बड़ा होगा EC से, कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि EC will be greater than EL, and in that case this vector will just turn in the downward direction. The resultant of these two, EL and EC, will be in the downward direction in case when EC is greater than EL. Accordingly we can just get the two cases, no doubt. But by default अगर हम EC को EL को EC से बड़ा अगर assume कर लेते हैं, तो we can just try to find out the magnitude of this resultant of these two, which will be EL minus EC. Okay, ये इन दोनों के resultant का magnitude हो गया. And in case when this EC will be greater than EL, this difference of this EL and EC will be negative, and that negative sign will show everything. वो नेगेटिव साइन से ही पता चलेगा कि वो डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन में है करके, ठीक है ना। तो बाय डिफॉल्ट हम ये एज्यूम कर लेंगे कि EL EC से बड़ा है, अगर नहीं है तो नेगेटिव साइन आ जाएगा, और वो नेगेटिव साइन हमको उल्टा बताएगा, मतलब EC बड़ा है EL से, वो उससे हमको क्लियर हो जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी now we have to find out the resultant of these two, ER and EL minus EC, and resultant of these two can be found out by using a parallelogram law. तो parallelogram law से हम इसको निकालेंगे, और उसका जो diagonal बनेगा, this diagonal will actually be represented here as E naught, which is nothing but the final peak value of EMF across this combination, whole combination, पूरे combination के अंदर जो source लगा हुआ है, उस source का EMF का maximum value कितना रहने वाला है, E नॉट रहने वाला है, जो कि ER और इस EL माइनस EC का रिजल्टेंट रहने वाला है। तो अगर हम यहाँ पे इस ट्रायंगल के अंदर अगर पाइथागोरस थ्योरम यूज किया तो क्या मिलेगा हमको नेक्स्ट स्टेप में, देखो तो हमको मिलेगा E नॉट का स्क्वायर विच इज इक्वल टू ये बेस का मतलब ER का स्क्वायर प्लस इस डिफरेंस का मतलब हाइट का स्क्वायर जो कि EL माइनस EC और उसका ब्रैकेट स्क्वायर, करेक्ट है। एंड नाउ इफ यू जस्ट रिप्लेस द वैल्यूज of all these three, ER is represented as I naught into R by using Ohm's law, करेक्ट है, क्योंकि जो रेजिस्टेंस के अंदर जो EMF बनता है वो करंट इनटू रेजिस्टेंस के बराबर होने वाला है, और जो EC EL मतलब EL जो है, EL कितना रहेगा, the peak value of EMF across the inductor will be the peak value of current multiplied by XL. XL is supposed to be the resistance of this inductor actually, and the peak value of that EMF across capacitor will be actually equal to the peak value of current into XC, where XC stands for the resistance of the capacitor, or is called as a capacitive reactance. Okay, now if we just put all these values here in this expression, then we can be able to get this E naught square going to be equal to ER का होल स्क्वायर, मतलब ही उसको हम लिख देंगे I naught into R का होल स्क्वायर, प्लस यहाँ पे फिर ब्रैकेट में क्या आएगा देखो, ठीक से EL के बदले डाल देंगे I naught into XL माइनस EC के बदले डालना पड़ेगा I naught into XZ, और उस ब्रैकेट का हमको स्क्वायर करना होगा, करेक्ट है। एंड नाउ वी कैन जस्ट टेक दिस I naught कॉमन फ्रॉम दिस ब्रैकेट सो दैट वी कैन गेट दिस E naught स्क्वायर going to be equal to I naught square into R square plus I can be taken common from these two brackets, leaving behind XL minus XC inside the bracket and whole square as it is. If we just separate out this square for both of the terms, both of these factors inside, then we can be able to get that E naught square going to be equal to I naught square into R square plus here it will be I naught square as it is and XL minus XC the whole square, correct hai? And then we will be able to take this I naught square complete common from this RHS here, so that we can get this E naught square will be equal to I naught square common, and what we are left inside R square plus XL minus XC the whole square, and then we can just take this I naught square in the denominator in this other side, so that we can get this next step, that is E naught square upon I naught square going to be equal to, here it will be R square plus XL minus XC ka whole square, so that this if we take the square root on both sides, then we'll be just left with E naught upon I naught in the left side, and it will be root of this R square plus XL minus XC ka whole square in this right hand side. And also this E naught upon I naught can be represented by Z once again, that is called as the impedance. अब देखो क्योंकि क्या है ना कि रेजिस्टेंस का जो खुद का ऑपोजिशन होता है उसको हम रेजिस्टेंस बोलते हैं, ये कैपेसिटर का जो ऑपोजिशन होता है उसको हम कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस बोलते हैं, इंडक्टर का जो ऑपोजिशन होता है करंट को उसको हम इंडक्टिव रिएक्टेंस बोलते हैं। लेकिन इन तीनों का या किसी दोनों का भी कंबाइंड ऑपोजिशन जो होता है उसको हम इंपीडेंस ही बोलते हैं, ठीक है, उसको कोई नया नाम नहीं देना है हमको अभी, तो वो इंपीडेंस ही कहलाएगा। So this impedance in this case will be obtained to be simply equal to R square root of R square plus XL minus XC ka square in this way here. And now we will be able to draw the impedance triangle also, which will be just drawn in the same way here as we have drawn it in the हियर एज अ करंट एंड वोल्टेज ट्रायंगल। तो ये जो ईएमएफ्स का ट्रायंगल हमने ड्रॉ किया है, सेम वैसे ही हम इंपीडेंस ट्रायंगल ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज Z कैन बी रिटर्न इन प्लेस ऑफ E नॉट, ओके। R can be drawn in place of ER. Here XL can be drawn in place of EL and XC can be drawn in place of EC. So that we can just get this impedance triangle like this here. This is going to be your R. Okay, ये R बन गया। इस तरफ जो है ऊपर तरफ ये हमारा XL बन गया। नीचे की तरफ हम ड्रॉ करेंगे XC, और इन दोनों का जो डिफरेंस बनता है XL और XC का जो डिफरेंस है, तो वो रहेगा यहाँ पे, which will be in the same direction as that of XL, because we have assumed that XL is going to be greater than XC. So here this magnitude of this difference will actually be XL minus XC, and the resultant of these two, R and XL minus XC, will actually be the Z. This resultant is going to be Z, and this Z is making an angle of phi with the R, which is the same angle which is made by this E naught with this I naught here. And then we can just be able to find out this tan phi from this triangle itself. तो क्या मिलेगा हमको बताओ? tan phi. Tan phi can be obtained to be simply equal to the opposite side of this phi upon adjacent side of that, that is XL minus XC divided by R. This is the value of tan phi, from which we can get phi to be simply tan inverse of this XL minus XC upon R, and this tan phi can also be obtained by this triangle, above triangle here, upper triangle. ये जो tan phi है वो कितना मिलेगा? The difference of these two, that is EL minus EC divided by the base, which is ER. So here we can just say this will be EL minus EC divided by ER is also going to be the value of tan phi, from which we can get phi in short. And one more thing here to understand is that the EMF in this case here seems to be leading the current by the phase angle of phi, and this EMF is going to be having the maximum value E naught. So we can just construct the equation instantaneous value of EMF, ठीक है ना, equation of instantaneous value of EMF here as like current. तो instantaneous value of EMF का equation क्या होगा? E is equal to E naught into sin, यहाँ पे ओमेगा टी kept as it is, बट जबकि हमको पता है ऑलरेडी कि EMF लीड्स द करंट बाय फेज एंगल ऑफ फाई रेडियन। सो EMF का जो फेज एंगल है वो करंट के फेज एंगल ओमेगा टी से फाई अमाउंट से ज्यादा रहने वाला है, इसलिए यहाँ पे हम प्लस फाई इसमें डाल देंगे, तब जाके हमको ये इंस्टेंटेनियस वैल्यू ऑफ EMF का इक्वेशन मिलेगा। बट अगेन ओके, मोबाइल रिस्टार्ट हो गया, just we'll continue this tomorrow. Thank you all of you.